Hey guys, how's it going? Colin here with Schmitty's Offroad. Today I'm going to go over the Tusk Sand Lite UTV paddle tires. I got some 32-inch paddles for all four corners for the Pro XP. I still got them all wrapped up here. So today we are actually going to unwrap them, weigh them, and I'm going to give you guys the specs on the specific ones that I bought. They do have beadlocks on them, so you can get them lighter than what I did, but I kind of liked the beadlock option that I went with. And there's also a cool thing that Rocky Mountain ATV does with the paddle tires that I got. So I'll go over that later in the video. Stick around, we're going to go ahead, get these unboxed, and give you guys my first impressions. Alrighty guys, let's go ahead and start tearing into these bad boys. We'll hope I don't end up cutting the paddle open. We leave for UTV Takeover Winoka in a couple days, so wouldn't be too good, but I guess I could maybe get Rocky Mountain to expedite some paddles, but we'll just plan on not doing that. So go ahead and get these guys opened up and show you guys kind of what they look like and how much they weigh. So I did go with the Tusk Sand Lite tires. You can see there. I put them on the Tusk Teton beadlock rims. They are the smoked black. I thought those kind of matched the Pro the best. In my personal preference, I think they look pretty good. These tires are pretty tall, actually. They do measure 32 inches. I kind of checked them a little bit beforehand. They're a tall 32, so keep that in mind. I did go with the fronts as a 5.2 offset, so they should be about an inch wider per side on the front. And then I'll save you guys the time. I actually went ahead and unboxed one of the rear paddle tires. We'll wheel this guy out there. And these are actually a 5x5 offset. So they're a total of a 10-inch rim. I just went that route. People say paddles are better to be on a 10-inch. They'll give you a little bit more flotation. And I also like a little bit of offset in the rear. It'll kind of kick it out just a little bit wider than the front, but it'll actually track about the same as the front because the tire is wider, but just with how the offset works, it'll only be probably 2 inches wider than the front, but the center will actually still be lined up with the front tire. The front tire will just end over here, and this will just stick out a little bit farther. So it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but yeah, that is the Tusk Teton beadlocks with the Tusk Sand Lite paddles. I'll give you guys a little bit of some stats for what the shipping label gave me for weights, and then I got my scale here, and we'll go ahead and get the actual. So for the fronts, again, they are the Tusk Sand Lite on 32-inch, on the Tusk Teton 15-inch beadlock, 5.2 offset, and the shipping weight was 42 pounds. The stock tires are roughly 43 for the front and 44, 45 for the rear. The rear has a little bit different offset, so that does add a little bit of weight, but not a ton. So probably average, the stock tires are around 45 pounds. The front paddle tires are going to be 42 according to shipping. The rears are on the 5+5 beadlock 15-inch, and the shipping weight was 56 pounds. So it's about 10 pounds heavier than the stock tires, but still not too bad considering they are a beadlock. It's a 15-inch and a 32-inch tire. The Turbo S tires and wheels that I had on for Moab were about 58 to 60 pounds, and those measured 31 to 30 and a half inches. So really, these being an actual 32-inch tire and being lighter than those ITP Coyotes, kind of shows you how light these paddles actually are. And they are a budget option, which is nice. This whole set ran me about $1,200. Rocky Mountain ATV, since Tusk is their actual brand, they will oftentimes run deals if you get their paddle tires on their beadlocks. I didn't get it in time. I saw it earlier this summer. They basically called it their dune package. So you would go on and build this exact tire wheel set, and they would give you a discount based just because it is using their brand. So it kind of makes it nice. You can easily get 35 to 4 grand just in paddle tires and wheels, and we only go probably hopefully maybe 4 times a year. That's a good year. But I did want paddles, even though you can run stock ones. I wanted to get them just because I think it's a little bit more fun. So that's what I've got. We're gonna go ahead and throw these on the scale and see how accurate the shipping was and give you guys an actual weight on these. So we'll start with the front here. Go ahead, get the scale on. Get it to calibrate, and we'll wheel this one on here. If you guys can see that down there, got it sitting at 42.6 pounds. So it's pretty much right on track with what the shipping weighed. So not really gaining any weight on those front tires. So that's gonna be nice. Where it's going to be interesting is the rear. I'm not going to do clutching for this trip, so I'm going to try these 32s. I think they'll be fine. We'll go ahead and give it a shot. Worst case scenario, there's going to be dealers down there that can help me out if I break apart or whatever. We'll get it straightened out. So go ahead, get the scale on again, and wheel this bad boy on there. I don't know if you guys can see that down there. 55.4 pounds. So about a ½ pound lighter than what shipping said. So that's really not too bad. Overall, I'd say that's about 10 pounds heavier than the stock rear tires. That's not going to be a huge difference, honestly. They are heavier, but a lot of that is going to be in that beadlock rim. So a lot of your rotating mass is going to be centered, so it's not going to be quite as bad as if you had a real heavy tire and all that weight was on the outside of your tread. That's going to be a lot more wear and tear on your clutching, whereas this being more centered where the weight is, we should be okay. So we're going to go ahead and finish unwrapping those other two, and that's pretty much going to be it for my first impressions. We leave for UTV takeover in a few days. Today's Saturday, we leave on Wednesday. So I'll get these mounted up in the next video. I can't put these on yet just because this door is limited to about 72 inches. And these rear paddles I've heard bumping out to 72 to 73. So it's going to be a little tight getting in here. So I'm going to wait to put those on till the day before we leave. And then I'll give you guys another review on how they do in the dunes. I have pretty good expectations for them. Obviously, they're not going to be a drag paddle, but I think they'll be okay. They'll do what I want to do. I'm more of a recreational rider, so I think they'll work out just fine. So yeah, go ahead, get these other ones unwrapped, and we'll call it a day. Thank you guys for watching. If you can, just go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe. It helps me out a lot. I'm kind of new to this, but I am getting ready to start posting more riding content. It's been a lot of reviews lately, but that's just kind of how it goes. With the recall this summer, it kind of took me a while to get things in, get the machine fixed. So we're 3 days away from riding, finally. Stick around. I'm going to have some good content coming out for you guys. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.